and then you turn around and tell Judge Hilton that I released the video. What do you mean?
That
you
the brother
released
is sabotaging. Look,
you made a video on your platform and released a video.
The whole entire case of Mustafa Aljazairy in court was not argued. The whole time they're arguing about, is this under seal? This lawyer is violating the protective order. It's no longer a conversation about Mustafa's case. I mean, if you notice, every time we went to court in the Eastern District,
they're talking about the videos that she released.
They're talking about the lawyer released and violated a protective order. That's all they're talking about. And the judge is not even interested in the case anymore. He's interested in, what the hell is this lawyer doing?
Look,
why is this lawyer defying the Eastern District of Virginia's federal court rules?
I mean, the fact that she's coming after me, filing an injunction and attempting to do the bidding of Prince William County to have me not talk about Mustafa's falsified case tells you everything you need to know. I mean, you want to tell me 1 minute you're filing a civil lawsuit for Mustafa. Next thing you know, you send him a letter telling him he's going to rot in jail. You'll release the jail videos only to sabotage the case, and you turn around and you file an injunction against his brother, the only voice he has out in the community, telling this community that Mustafa's case has been falsified, that we need these police officers to be held accountable by law, that the county, the police department, crushed and staged Mustafa's car, that we need to get this vehicle reconstructed. I mean, the only reason it's getting reconstructed now is because we talked about it. The community is watching the details that's coming out of this case, and the community is demanding that they get these vehicles reconstructed. I mean, NBC4 is not talking about it. The only outlet that is updating this community about this case is this platform. And you're going to turn around and shut down this channel as Mustafa's civil rights attorney? That makes sense to you?
And you say you're helping Mustafa by shutting down his only voice.
Muhammad, the vehicle has been crushed and staged. Mustafa's statement has been falsified. The dash camera in Mustafa's vehicle has been cut and muted by the county, by the police department. And now you have evidence that Chad Mason is the one that cut it. He admitted to it.
And by the way,
now we've been asking for the SD card to be inspected. The audio, Officer Zymus, Kathy Zymus, the police department admit that it has audio. The only reason they're inspecting the SD card is because we're talking about it.
I just
that this community is demanding that the audio is released.
Mustafa was expected to
and
go...
And she wants to say we're sabotaging his case. How are we sabotaging his case?
Mustafa was expected to go into trial with Blake Weiner as his primary lawyer and Elaine Jarvis as his second chair, right? And Elaine Jarvis told Blake, she told him, I mean, we're on this three-way call, and she says, I have a whole team of legal paralegals. Okay, I have a whole team of paralegals. We can go through discovery really quick. We can go through the phone data very quickly and give you the most significant information of it. And then days before trial, Blake says, Elaine didn't do anything. She told me she was going to go through the phone data dump, okay? She was going to go through all the phone data because she has the drive, okay? She didn't go through any of it. Any of it. But when you tell a lawyer, this is my part, I'm going to handle this section, don't worry about it. My team is going to go through this thing thoroughly. And then he shows up and Elaine Jarvis is like, I didn't go through it. We know Blake can't go through it because he gave her the drive. Okay?
And then you show up 2 weeks before trial and you tell him I didn't go through anything.
Not only that, but we find out that whoever is online, Evelyn Horton, Stephanie Claiborne Drum, they're using photos from Mustafa's drive on the internet to make us look bad.
So
they're posting private pictures that Mustafa took of his mother. His mother wears a scarf. And they're posting pictures of his mom without a scarf. Those pictures could only come from Mustafa's data dump that Elaine had. And that tells you with 100% certainty that Elaine Jarvis was compromised. She was giving Mustafa's data dump to Stephanie Claiborne Drum, to Evelyn Horton. And they were posting it all over TikTok. Okay, she was posting Mustafa's data dump, which I remind you is allegedly under seal. Okay?
Clearly. I mean,
so when she took that plea deal, I say, by all means,
clearly,
she did violate the seal because she gave it to other entities on the internet.
Look, clearly she only got involved because she's sabotaging the case. I mean, look at what she's done. Look at what Elaine
What has she done?
What has she done for Mustafa?
If you look overall,
she took whatever money that we had.
Look overall. What has she done in Mustafa's case?
She took whatever money that we had. She took whatever money that we had. I thought she was filing a civil right lawsuit, a civil right lawsuit. You're not gonna take money from you. No, you take it. What is that term? Contingency.
On a contingency basis.
She had a sign that is contingency, but she took every penny that we had.
But she took a lot of money from us.
She gets involved, released the jail video, sabotage the case, and then turns around, takes the cell phone dump, gives it out to the wife of the investigator and Evelyn Horton.
To defame Mustafa's family.
To defame Mustafa, and then come after me to tell me, shut down my YouTube channel. What do you mean? You're sabotaging the case.
I mean, like,
and
every time you think about Elaine Jarvis and what she did in the Mustafa case, I spoke to a... Look,
I'll tell you, before you make that point, every time I think about what they've done, I go back to that body cam where Rob Davis, one of the police officers that says, I have an idea to employ into this case, but it's going to require spending money.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Let me play this for you. Do me a favor. Go over to exhibits.
Oh, I think I muted this one. Let me unmute it.
Yeah, once again, this arm's new.
Okay. Properly fastened?
Properly fastened.
Okay. Did you do anything inappropriate to it?
Yeah. Okay.
You know,
employed. Should imply. I need to tell you I had an idea. Hey, Rob, remind me to tell you I had an idea about this case that I thought we should imply. Imply, is that the word? Employed. It would take spending money though.
It would take spending money.
you know you know what's so crazy about that is that you had a stripper. Well, we find out later if she was a stripper, but you had an individual come in and give a very large amount of cash to Mustafa's attorney, Blake, okay? And later we find out that this person is working with the investigator's wife, that this individual that brought in the cash was working with the investigator's wife to sabotage Mustafa's case. And that same individual, Elaine Jarvis, was suing for that woman to get her money back. She said she was suing you and me for $25,000 that the girl brought in. This girl she knocked on the door and said, hey, I'm here with a large sum of cash to donate to Mustafa's legal fund. Who's his lawyer going to be? I'm willing to pay that money, and I'm going to pay all of his legal defense.
And Evelyn Horton is on the phone with Mustafa's defense attorney, hiring that defense attorney, paying him that money. I have the recording of the phone call conversation.
We go back to Rob Davis, who says he has an idea about this case that they should employ. It's going to cost spending money. So we know Rob Davis has put in a large sum of money. Him, Rob Sermon, Robert Drum, obviously his wife's on the internet, okay?
Evelyn Horton.
They pumped this large sum of money into Mustafa's case, and the fact that Elaine Jarvis at some point filed a civil lawsuit to get their money back. She's coming to get their money back because their plan failed.
If you remember,
they failed miserably.
If you remember at the time when Elaine Jarvis was suing for that money, I made multiple posts where where did that money come from, and
Exactly.
did you claim it on your IRS at the end of the year?
You know, not only that, but in a civil lawsuit,
You have to.
discovery opens up both ways, and you were going to subpoena all of Elaine's communication, all of the girl that brought the money. You were going to subpoena all her communications, and guess what? Elaine Jarvis suddenly dropped the $25,000 case that, according to them, was a slam dunk. This was a slam dunk. The girl had text messages showing that she brought in allegedly $25,000, and this was going to be in and out of court just like that. Give me back my $25,000. And all of a sudden, Elaine drops the case.
So
she's no
it
longer
shouldn't be-
representing that stripper girl.
It shouldn't be that hard to claim and show that you filed with the IRS the money that you took out and pumped money into Mustafa's case, unless that money came from somewhere. I mean, I remember that girl brought in cash.
Cash.
So-
Cash money. I mean,
Did you claim it on your IRS at the end of the
somebody
year?
to say, I'm here from Michigan, and I have this large sum of cash. It was in her purse, a giant stack of cash. She says, this is for Mustafa's lawyer.
I have a recording. Guess who
And there's
says
plenty more where that came from.
Guess who said I gave her that money?
Who says that?
Evelyn Horton.
She says she gave her the money.
She said she gave her the money, and Evelyn Horton is the alleged witness in the Mustafa Aljazairy case that's falsifying.
As Amy Hodson.
I mean, the body cams are sealed because when you open the body cam and you see that Evelyn Horton on a body cam says 1, 2, and 3, and then turns around and says, I wasn't there, I didn't hear or see anything. That's a witness that's falsifying statements. That's manufacturing probable cause.
So when Rob Davis says, I have an idea about this case.
That's why they seal the body cams.
It's going to cost us money.
Yeah.
They're talking about pumping money through a individual that, I mean, when she came in, she says, hey, I'm just like you. I'm originally from Iraq. I'm here to help your family. I can't believe your brother's going through that. We, as an Iraqi community, we have to stand together. And I'm here with this giant bag of cash. Here you go. Who's Mustafa's lawyer? We told her the lawyer, okay? And she began having private conversations with Mustafa's lawyer.
I have the recording of the conversation.
That is crazy.
I have the phone call recording when Blake Weiner was hired by Evelyn Horton.
That is crazy.
Absolutely. I mean, the reason that these body cams, they're terrified that these body cams are on the internet because the community is getting a hold of Mustafa Aljazairy case and they're verifying this on body cams.
And by the way, you know that woman that brought in the stripper did not work with you, because the next conversation I had with Blake, he's like, who is that woman? Who is that woman? Like, how do you know her? He's questioning. He's not telling me that she's saying negative things about us. But I got a call from somebody else in an organization, in a civil rights organization. And he flat out told me, he said, that lady, I would be aware of what you tell her, because she called me immediately after we were on a 3-way call. She called me immediately after, and she's saying a lot of negative things about you guys. I would be aware, because the things she's saying are very, very dangerous.
Rob Davis.
They're very dangerous. He says, be aware. And apparently that was Evelyn Horton, that same woman that brought in the stripper with a large bag of cash.
So when Rob Davis says, I have an idea to employ on a police body cam, when he says, I have an idea to employ into this case, but it's going to require spending money, well, here we are. We have the body cams where we're finding out who's pumping money into Mustafa's case to hire this lawyer to sabotage the case.
The funniest thing is, Rob Davis wants a refund because it didn't work.